Hello, welcome to Black Friday with Brittany Kennedy. Today is August 14th, 2020, and I am super stoked. I can't believe we're already halfway through the month. That is crazy to me, but my son just turned 6 months yesterday, which kind of makes me sad because he's growing up so fast. For all of you that are parents out there, they grow up so quickly, don't they? You just want to keep them small for forever and protect them and do all this other stuff, and yet they just grow so big, so fast. Anywho, I digress from the purpose of Black Friday with Brittany Kennedy. For those of you guys that are new to this space, this is a space where I like to talk about socio-economic issues in the Black community that are too taboo to talk about. I like to talk about them. My thought process is that I will help create awareness, and that awareness will help us create solutions. Thus, Black Friday with Brittany Kennedy. Supporting Black businesses. I have in my hand a Black-owned toilet paper company, toilet paper roll by a Black-owned company. And I came across this recently because I was thinking about the things that we spend our money on. It's not just the major things, which actually I think the smaller things are pretty major because we buy them more frequently. And if we really, really want to make a difference in our community and bridge the gap between systematic oppression, the best way to do it is to keep our money in our own pockets. So, came across this and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And now we have it in our home. And I find it very interesting because it is, first of all, it's called Ultra Cosmic Bamboo Tissue, 100% chemical free, and it's also 100% made of bamboo. No trees. So it's very go green friendly, which to me is extremely interesting. Haven't tried it yet. Haven't opened it. This is my first time opening it so I could share it with you guys. One thing I do recommend that I'm going to put in my reviews is it feels a little small to me. I know Scott is probably 3 times this size. And I don't want to say anything negative about them, but I'm just thinking this is something that maybe we could bubble up to them to make their product better and more marketable for us, because I'm a girl. I go through tissues quickly. Now, if you're a guy, you're going to be on the fly. It's going to be easy for you. But for us ladies, we always have to use tissue. So, but anywho, go check it out. I will have the link in the bottom. All you have to do is click down in the drop down little menu section, whatever, and that'll be there. Also, I do tarot readings, Egyptian tarot. For anybody that wants one, I just created a page. It's called Tarot Readings by Brittany Kennedy. Very simple. You can reach out to me via there. I'll also put the link below so you can also click on it just in case you forgot, but you can just go back in the video. Anywho, never mind that. I've got some great reviews. I'm very accurate, so come and check me out. Let me get a reading for you. Now, down to business. Last week I posted a video and it was called Why Do Black People Expect White People to Acknowledge Racism and Inequality? And for the first time, I think in all the videos that I've posted, I started this channel back in January, I got 0 blowback. Well, one person, but I don't know if he was very aware of what his commentary was about. So anywho, I thought that was brilliant. Obviously, the majority of those that tune in also feel like, some of us are pleading our case to these white people and they're not going to listen. Those that are racist don't really care about how we feel about what's being done. So now for this week, I would like to just go back to a couple of videos that I posted, or a video that I posted a couple of weeks ago. And this one was titled, looking at my notes here, sorry about that. We need to fix the breakdown of the Black family. And I got blowback from that video. I got a lot of great responses as well, so I really appreciate you guys tuning in the way that you have, commenting, sharing your thoughts, your questions, your concerns. I love the contribution. So in this specific video though, or in my responses, I'm trying to get off my screen now. Okay. Maybe I should just X out of that, please. Yes. Anywho, Facebook was going off. Anywho, so in the commentary section, I got a lot of men that were talking about how it's the woman's fault that the Black family unit has, been so separated and so what's the great word for it? All I can envision in my head is like a pyramid together and like bloom, nothing more. But anywho, so I had a problem with that because obviously it shows a lack of accountability, number one. I don't think there's many black women who decided one day, like, you know, I really, really want to raise my kids by myself and I don't want a man around. Maybe some people think like that, but most women aren't thinking like that. And honestly, since the woman is the one that is left to watch the kid and to take care of the kid full time while you get to go and have more kids and do whatever you want, it's hard pressed to say that it's a woman's fault and that's the reason you're not there. But furthermore, I mean, even beyond that, people were saying that feminism is a huge contribution of that. Feminism and so I had to cut out edit a part, so sorry about that. Just to recap, basically what I was saying is that there were men talking about feminism as being the problem, talking about women not staying in their place, right? And it really boiled my blood, honestly, because it was such a misogynistic viewpoint of the way that society is supposed to be or the way that a home is supposed to be. And I don't understand why men feel like they're in competition with women or why women feel like they're in competition with men, if that is the case. But specifically men, because I find that oftentimes you don't really find women trying to be the man. You find women picking up the slack that men have left them with, not trying to be the man. And so I'm curious as to why men feel like they are in competition with us. Why do you feel inferior or insecure? Why don't you celebrate the empowerment of what a woman is? Why don't you see us as your helpmates versus your inferior is the base, like, only term I can really think of right now. I guess I'm not really, all the grammar isn't coming to me as well as it usually does. But this specific gentleman talked about how men were superior to women. And I thought that was insane. And he wasn't the only one. There wasn't a lot of them, so I can't say that this is the majority of people's viewpoint. But society has painted it as though men are the leaders and women are the followers, that men are the strong ones and women are the weak ones. And that's interesting since we're the ones that actually give birth. But I digress. My point is, why exactly do men feel like they need to be in competition with women? Why are you blaming women for the reason why the family unit, the black family unit, has broken down? What is that all about? What is it about you, your makeup, your genetic makeup, your character, your being as a male that makes you feel like the woman is designed to be below you, underneath you? If you study ancient Kemet, ancient civilizations, our civilizations, we came from a matriarchy society, and I'm going to reference a lovely video. This woman put it in very, very good terms. I came across her. The video was called, and I'll also put this in the link below, or in the section below, Why the Orishas and Loas Didn't Save Us from Slavery and Social Suffering. And it's by Connecting with Guides and Goals by Adunola on YouTube. Anyway, so this woman, Adunola, is talking about the history of the competition between men and women. And basically, she's explaining it for those that do believe this, don't believe it, whatever. You can check it out, see what you think for yourselves. But basically, we come from a matriarch society. A matriarch, the gods up there were male and female. And the male was not happy that he wasn't getting the recognition that the female was getting. And so he decided to cancel out the female, take on everything that she had created, and make it more of a patriarchal kind of society. And so since then, since the beginning of time, we have had this war between men and women. And I really don't understand that. And in the Black community alone, I would say that's one of our number one downfalls, is not being supported by our Black men the way that we need to, not understanding what that relationship is supposed to be. We are not below you. We are your, I don't even want to say equal partner, but we are your complementary partner. That's what we are. And to undermine our position in this world, in society, you wouldn't exist without a woman. Now, men, yes, are able to supply what is required. That you supply the seed, comes into the egg, creates a life, but without that female body harnessing that egg, you have no body. You have no child. So to try to undermine the female's position to me is preposterous. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm trying my best to understand it, but it infuriates me that I see so many men not being willing to acknowledge, look, I was just having random sex with whoever, I didn't expect to create a child, or I was having unprotected sex with the person I was dating at the time and wasn't really serious, wasn't looking at marrying her, so I chose not to, whatever. And females, we have our part in this issue too. We have our lack of planning, our accepting men that are not ready to fulfill that role as a husband. And so it's not just all the male's responsibility, but I want to make this a video that is more geared towards the men because I want to hear what their responses are. I was on Facebook the other day in one of the single mother groups that I'm in. A woman posted a video from Ian Vincent where she spoke to various Black men, Black fathers, and it was probably 6 different ones. And the results were, matter of fact, let me just look it up because I'm looking at it right here. So Iyanla speaks to 6 men who have 87 children with 50 different women. Now, granted, we can talk about the woman's side because I'm sure we also, if we find ourselves in situations where the man is not, going to stay or whatever, we want to build that life, that family, whatever, we move on, have another kid. Maybe we didn't, plan properly, maybe we chose the wrong guy, maybe we whatever, found ourselves in whatever situation, and then we're on baby father number 2 and baby father number 3 or whatever. I want to make sure I prevent that cycle in my bloodline. That is what I'm seeking to do with myself. Relationships are tough. It's not easy, and so I think oftentimes we find ourselves in situations where we give up prematurely, or where we really didn't look at the situation prior to getting into it, not realizing that compatibility isn't there, or the person's not ready to grow, or ready to commit, or whatever the case may be. And yet, we as women, we're not paying attention, and men as well, we're not paying attention to the warning signs that we're giving off in the early stages of dating. And so we need to stop being so casual about dating and being more serious about it, because when you're having sex and you're having unprotected sex, the result is going to be a child. Unless one of you guys is sterile, that is the result. And so it's within the ownership of the woman and the man to make sure that you've done everything in your power to make that union a family. That's what I feel like. I feel like we owe it to our children to do that. The results, some of the things that Iyanla Vincent was talking about in her video, was children that grow up in fatherless homes are 5 times more likely to commit suicide, 32 times more likely to run away, 20 times more likely to have behavioral disorders, 14 times more likely to become sexually aggressive, abusive, or commit rape, 10 times more likely to abuse drugs. That's what we're dealing with, guys. And the Black community, just look at it. Look at I know we get harsher prison sentences and jail sentences and whatnot, but you also have to do something in order to get there, okay? Don't do the crime and you won't be doing any time. Not saying that they don't lock up people illegal, who are innocent, but ideally, if you don't do anything, you pretty much are almost 100% sure that you're not going to go to jail for something you haven't committed. Occasionally, that 5%, or whatever the percentage is, but it's not a lot. Either way it goes, we need to be doing a better job of protecting our children and our universe, because our Black communities are the ones that are suffering the most. And so I'm getting more into a different topic a little bit here, but I really want to understand the relationship, the dynamic between a man and a woman from a man's perspective. For those that are fathers, what happened? What's happening? If you have one child, two child, multiple baby mamas, what does that look like? How did that come about? What was your desire when you went in? What is your viewpoint of a woman? What do you think her role is? Because I think oftentimes when it comes to the expression of a Black woman, we are viewed as angry, independent, all this other stuff. And maybe some of us are angry because we've been mistreated. And so we have the right on some level to kind of be angry, but it is also our responsibility to heal ourselves from whatever childhood trauma that we have gone through. Next, thinking about our role in relation to you. Why do you think that women are beneath you? Why do you glorify having sex with multiple women? Why do you glorify not committing to one person? Why do you not treat your Black women as queens? Why do you lay up with them knowing that you don't have intentions to marry them, or that you don't value their sacred space or their heart or their mind or their body? Why? Because I can almost guarantee you, for the most part, being a woman myself, and I do know that some women are not as, they haven't gotten there yet, right? Maybe some of them are loose and playing around and whatever. But at the end of the day, the most thing that a woman wants is to be loved, to be cherished, no matter what she's doing. She could be a whore, she could be a prostitute, she could be an educated, Ivy League kind of woman. That's all she wants. That's all she wants. And she's going to seek that however she can get it, if she's not getting it in a healthy way, if she has not learned to treat her sacred space as sacred, her yoni as sacred, her mind, her body, her spirit. So I'm trying to understand, men, what is your thought process? My son is telling me I need to go. What is your thought process when you approach a woman? How do you really look at her? How do you value her? How were you taught to value her? What did your mother teach you? Do you respect your mother? Did she teach you to value woman? Why do you see us as being beneath you? Why are you in competition with us? Because we're not in competition with you. We're looking for partners. We're not looking to we are looking to run the world in that kind of essence, but, to get shit done and to build an empire. But we're not looking to control you. We're not looking to be above you. So why is there this constant competition that I feel personally, because I'm strong in who I am, that comes from a man of, I just got to get there. I got to be above. I'm a man. Like, where does that come from? Anywho, drop your comments, share this video, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. Have a good weekend, whatever.